What if I told you there's a hidden vault of cash out there, unlocked, overflowing, and waiting for someone like you to claim it? But you're too busy slogging away to even notice? Right now, as you read this, a bunch of everyday Aussies, tradies, baristas, single parents are secretly pocketing hundreds, even thousands every week without clocking a single hour. No, it's not a scam, a lottery win, or some shady deal down a dark alley. It's passive income. The underground money machine that's turning broke battlers into quiet millionaires. And here's the sting. While they're cashing in, you're still stuck wondering why your pay barely lasts till Friday. Want to know their secret? Keep your eyes glued here because this is about to get real. Let's face it, life in Australia is a bloody grind. You're forking out $700 a week for a shoebox rental in Melbourne, $60 for a slab of beer, and $2 a liter for petrol that might as well be liquid gold. The stats don't lie. ABS says inflation's hit 3.8% in 2025, and the average Aussie wage, $800, a week before tax. Feels like pocket change once the bills roll in. Finder's 2024 report reckons 62% of us have less than $10,000 saved. 10 grand? That's not a buffer. It's a bad joke. Meanwhile, a crafty few are sitting pretty, watching cash flow in like the tide at Bondi. Rent from properties, dividends from stocks, profits from side gigs they barely touch. How are they doing it while you're flat out keeping the lights on? Here's the raw truth. You've been fed a lie since day dot. Work hard, save a bit, retire at 65 with a measly super. That's the script we're all handed. But the hustlers? They've torn it up. They're not slaving away for scraps. They've got money working harder than a shearer in the outback. Take Sarah from Perth, a retail worker who was drowning in credit card debt 2 years ago. She stumbled onto this passive income game, threw $300 into a tiny online venture, and now pulls in $800 a month without lifting a finger. Or Mick, a truckie from Darwin, who started renting out a spare room on Airbnb, won $200 a week, mate, straight into his pocket. These aren't unicorns. They're Aussies like you who dared to look beyond the 9-to-5 trap. But let's not kid ourselves. It's not your fault you're out of the loop. Nobody taught you this stuff. School drilled you on algebra and Aussie history, not how to build wealth while you sleep. Maybe you grew up in a house where money was a dirty word, or you've been stung by a mate with a dud investment tip. I've been there, scraping by, stressing over every cent, feeling like the system's rigged. And it bloody well is, unless you know how to flip it. The problem? You're trading time for dollars, a game where the house always wins. Inflation's chewing your savings, rent's climbing faster than a roux on a trampoline, and that dream of owning a home slipping further out of reach every year. So, what's the deal with this passive income gold mine? It's not magic, it's a shift. It's about making your money sweat so you don't have to. The hustlers aren't geniuses, they're just restless. They've tapped into streams, rental income, stock dividends, online sales that keep the cash coming, rain or shine. And here's the kicker. You don't need a fat wallet to start. A couple $100, a bit of guts, and the right know-how can get you in the door. The catch? You've got to act. Every day you wait, you're losing ground. Compound interest doesn't mess around, and neither does the cost of living. This isn't about becoming a flashy billionaire with a yacht in Sydney Harbor. It's about freedom, telling the boss to rack off, taking a road trip up the coast, or just having enough to enjoy a cold one without checking your balance. I'm not here to sell you a dream. I'm here to hand you the tools. Picture this. $500 a month from a little share portfolio, $300 from a side gig you set and forget, $700 from a rental you barely manage. That's $1,500 extra every month without breaking a sweat. Sound good? It's not out of reach, it's just out of sight, until now. You're at a crossroads, mate. Stick to the grind and you'll keep getting the same old results. Bills, stress, and a super that might buy you a caravan if you're lucky. Or take a punt on something bigger. This passive income gig isn't a fairy tale, it's a bloody lifeline. The hustlers are proof. Real people, real wins, real cash. You don't need to be rich or clever, just fed up enough to try. So, what's it gonna be? Keep running on empty or start digging into this gold mine? The choice is yours, and it starts right here, right now. So you're hooked on the idea of cash rolling in without clocking in. Good on you. But let's not muck around. Passive income isn't a fairy godmother waving a wand over your bank account. It's a hustle with a twist. One where you front-load the effort, then sit back and watch the dollars stack up. The secret Aussie hustlers swear by. It's not one big trick. It's a mindset, a toolkit, and a bloody good dose of patience. Let's unpack this gold mine and figure out why it's working for them and how it can work for you. First off, what are we even talking about? Passive income's just money that keeps coming without you trading every waking hour for it. Think rent from a granny flat, dividends from shares, or profits from an online store you set up once and let run. Aye, beauty? Once it's rolling, it's like a loyal Kelpie. Keeps working even when you're off having a yarn at the pub. But here's where most Aussies stuff it up. They reckon it's only for the rich or the brainiacs. Wrong. The hustlers making bank aren't all millionaires. They're regular punters who've sniffed out opportunities you're probably walking past every day. Take rental income for starters. Aussie property's a hot topic. Prices are nuts, but you don't need to own a mansion in Mosman to cash in. Meet Jess, a 32-year-old nurse from Newcastle. She scraped together $15,000 for a deposit on a cheap unit in a regional spot, think Tamworth or Dubbo, back in 2022. Mortgage is $400 a week, rent pulls in $550. After rates and maintenance, she's pocketing $100 a week, every week, without lifting a finger. That's $200 a year, enough for a Bali trip or a new telly, all from one smart move. Could you do that? If you've got a spare room or a bit of savings, bloody oath you could. Then there's the stock game. Dividends, mate. You don't need a finance degree to buy into companies like BHP or Woolies. Dave, a Sparky from Geelong, started chucking $200 a month into an ETF, a little bundle of shares, 3 years ago. Today, it's worth $9,000 and spits out $400 a year in dividends. Not life-changing, but it's a start, and it's growing while he's on the tools. The trick? Consistency and not panicking when the market wobbles. Aussies love a punt, so why not bet on something that pays you back instead of the tab? And don't sleep on the digital hustle. Remember Sarah from Perth? She's no tech whiz, but she set up a simple online store selling reusable coffee cups, $300 to start, a few hours to get it running. Now it nets her $800 a month through drop shipping. She doesn't even touch the stock. The internet's a bloody gold mine if you've got an idea and a bit of hustle. Point is, these streams aren't rocket science. They're just paths most of us never bother exploring because we're too busy whinging about the cost of Avo toast. Now let's get real. Why aren't you doing this already? Probably because it sounds too good to be true, or you're flat out keeping the wolf from the door. Fair call. Life's hectic. Bills, kids, that leaky tap you've been meaning to fix. But here's the rub. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. Compound interest is a cruel bastard. It rewards the early birds and punishes the procrastinators. If Jess had waited 5 years, that unit had cost her $50,000 more. If Dave skipped his ETF, he'd have zilch. Time's ticking, mate, and the hustlers know it. Here's a bit of Aussie humor to lighten the mood. We're a nation that'll queue up for hours to snag a $10 Bunnings snag sizzle, but we won't spend 10 minutes Googling how to make our money grow. Funny, right? Except it's not, because while we're laughing, the clever buggers are building wealth. A 2024 Reserve Bank report says the top 20% of Aussies own 60% of the wealth, most of it tied up in property and investments pumping out passive cash. The rest of us? Fighting over the crumbs. Time to stop being the punchline and start being the winner. So where do you fit in? I reckon you've got a story. Maybe you're a tradie sick of living week to week, or a mum who'd kill for a break from the budget juggling act. What's holding you back? Fear, cash, knowledge? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear it. This isn't just me yapping, it's us figuring it out together. The hustlers didn't get there alone. They learned, stumbled, and shared the wins. You've got something to say, so spit it out. Oh, and if you're loving this no BS dive into money making, give the channel a shout. Hit that subscribe button. It's free, and it keeps you in the loop for more Ripper tips. We're not here to ponce around with jargon. We're here to crack the code and get you paid. Passive income's not a dream. It's a bloody plan, and you're already on the path. Keep at it, mate. You've got this. So you're sold on passive income. Bloody brilliant. Now it's time to stop dreaming and start doing. The hustlers didn't get rich by sitting on their hands, and neither will you. This block's all about the how. Practical steps, apps, sites, and numbers to turn that spark into a steady flame. We'll cover 3 big hitters: property, stocks, and online gigs, plus the mistakes to dodge and stories to fire you up. Grab a pen, mate, because this is where you take the wheel. 1. Rental income. Turn bricks into bucks properties. The Aussie obsession. But you don't need $1 million to play. Start small. Think a spare room, a granny flat, or a cheap unit in a growth spot. Apps like Airbnb can get you going if you've got space. Say you're in Brissy with a spare room. List it for $50 a night, rent it 15 nights a month. That's $750 straight up. Minus Airbnb's 3% fee, $20.50. You're at $727.50. Chuck in $50 for cleaning and power, and you're still clearing $677.50 a month. No spare room? Look at regional buys. CoreLogic says places like Ballarat have units under $400K, with rents around $450 a week. A $40K deposit, 10%, and a 4.5% loan means $380 weekly repayments, leaving you $70 profit after costs. Start saving now, check realestate.com.au, and talk to a broker. Mistake to avoid: don't buy in a dead-end town, research growth areas, jobs, infrastructure, or you'll be stuck with a dud. 2. Dividend stocks, cash, while you nap shares. Aren't just for suits, anyone can dip in. Platforms like ComSec or Stake let you buy with as little as $50. Focus on dividend payers. Think Commonwealth Bank, CBA, or Telstra. CBA's at $120 a share, April 2025, with a 4% dividend yield. Buy 10 shares, HON 200, and you'll get $48 a year, paid quarterly, no effort. Want to scale? Use an ETF like Vanguard's VAS, tracks the ASX 300, costs $200 a unit, yields 3.5%, $7 a year per unit. Chuck in $100 a month via Raise, rounds up your spending, and in a year, you've got $200 invested, pulling $42 annually, and it compounds. Open an account, start small, and reinvest those dividends. Mistake to avoid: don't panic sell when the market dips. Hold for the long haul or you'll lose the plot. 3. Online gigs, digital dollars. The internet's your mate here. Set up a low-effort gig like drop shipping or digital products. Shopify makes it easy. 39-month to start a store. Sell something simple, say stubby holders. Source them for $2 each from Alibaba, sell for $10. Get 50 sales a month via Facebook ads, $50 budget, that's $500 revenue, minus costs, $139 total, product ads, Shopify, you're at $361 profit. Or try Gumroad for digital stuff, ebooks, templates. Spend a weekend making a $15 budgeting guide, sell 20 copies a month, that's $300 minus a 10% fee, $270 in your pocket. Test an idea, tweak it, and scale. Mistake to avoid: don't overcomplicate it. Start with one product, not a whole. Catalog, or you'll burn out. Real numbers, real results. Let's crunch it. $677 from a room, $42 from stocks, $270 from an ebook, $989 a month. That's a holiday, a car payment, or a buffer for the rent. Start with one stream, master it, then stack another. Apps like PocketSmith track your cash flow, while ATO's MyGov helps with tax perks. Rental losses can offset your income, mate. Watch out for these traps. Debt overload. Don't borrow big unless the income covers it. Jess from Newcastle kept her mortgage affordable. Shiny objects. Skip crypto pumps or guru courses promising millions. Stick to proven streams. Laziness. Passive doesn't mean zero work up front. Set it up right or it flops. True Blue Stories, meet Tom, a 40-year-old tradie from Cairns. 2 years ago, he was skint. $2,000 in savings, maxed cards. He rented his garage on Spacer for $200 a month, used that to buy 5 Telstra shares, and built a $20 fishing guide on Gumroad. Today, $600 monthly passive, $200 storage, $50 dividends, $350 sales. Paid off his debt, took the missus to the Whit Sundays. Or Lisa, a Melburnian barista, $500 in Raiz, now $1,800, pulling $60 a year. Small wins, big shifts. This isn't pie-in-the-sky stuff. It's doable. Pick one. Room on Airbnb, $50 in Rise, a $10 digital product. Start today. Check the sites, run the numbers. You're not building Rome overnight, but you're laying bricks for a bloody good future. Tell me in the comments, which stream's calling you? Subscribe if you're keen for more. Let's keep this gold mine growing together. Here we are, mate. You've cracked open the passive income gold mine, and it's not just a shiny idea anymore. It's real, it's within reach, and it's bloody exciting. Think about where you started, maybe stressed about the rent, eyeballing, a bank balance that's more zeros than dollars, or just sick of the grind. Now, you've got the tools, property plays, stock wins, online hustles, and a glimpse of what life could look like when money stops owning you. This isn't the end. It's the bloody beginning. Let's tie it up with a bow and get you fired up to make it happen. Picture this. It's a year from now, April 2026. You're sitting on your deck, cold beer in hand, watching the sun dip over the horizon. The phone pings. $300 just hit your account. Not from a boss, not from a 12-hour shift, but from that little stream you set up way back when. Maybe it's rent from a tenant, dividends from shares, or a sale from that stubby holder gig you started on a whim. You smirk because while your mates are still whinging about the cost of fuel, you're planning a road trip up the coast. No stress, no sweat. That's not a fantasy. It's what discipline and a bit of hustle can buy you. This journey's been about one thing: freedom. Not the flash kind with Ferraris and penthouses. Nah, the real kind. The freedom to tell your boss to shove it when he demands overtime, to take the kids to the zoo without juggling bills, or to just breathe without that knot in your gut. Passive income isn't a get-rich-quick scam. It's a slow burn that pays off big. Look at Jess, the nurse from Newcastle, clearing $100 a week from her unit. Or Tom, the tradie from Cairns, now at $600 a month from his combo of storage, shares, and sales. They're not millionaires. They're Aussies who stopped waiting for permission and started building. You can too. Let's reflect for a sec. Where are you right now? Maybe you're a battler, living paycheck to paycheck, wondering if you'll ever get ahead. Or maybe you're doing all right, but know there's more out there. Wherever you're at, you've got what it takes: guts, grit, and a bit of that Aussie larrikin spirit. The hustlers aren't special. They're just restless. They saw the same trap you're in: bills piling up, inflation biting, dreams slipping, and said, bugger that. You've got that spark too, don't you? That, voice whispering, I deserve better. Bloody right you do. Here's the truth. This takes work up front. You'll need to save a few bucks, research a bit, maybe take a punt that doesn't pan out. But every step, every $50 in shares, every Airbnb booking, every online sale builds something bigger. It's like planting a gum tree, small now, but give it time, and it's a bloody giant. The stats back it up. Compound growth turns $1,000 into $1,800 in 5 years at 12%, like some ETFs, or $200 a month into $18,000 over a decade. Start small, stay consistent, and watch it snowball. You're not just chasing cash, you're chasing choices. So, where can this take you? With discipline, a couple of streams could net you $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year. That's a car paid off, a holiday funded, or a buffer when life throws a curveball. Stack more, and in 5 years you might hit $3,000 a month, $36,000 a year. That's a second income, mate, without a second job. Imagine the weight off your shoulders, the grin on your face when you check your balance and see it growing, not shrinking. That's not a pipe dream. That's what the hustlers are living, and it's waiting for you too. Now I've got to hear from you. This isn't a one-way street. Did this hit home? Did it light a fire under you? Drop it in the comments. What's your next move? Are you eyeing that spare room, itching to buy a share, or sketching out an online idea? Tell me your story. What's been holding you back, and what's pushing you forward? I'm reading every word, because this is about us, not just me. Share. This with a mate who needs a wake-up call? Let's get more Aussies in on the gold mine. If this has flicked a switch for you, hit that subscribe button. We're not done. There's more tips, more stories, more ways to crack this money game wide open. It's free, it's real, and it's for you. You're not here to scrape by. You're here to thrive, to stick it to the system, to live like you bloody mean it. So take that first step today. Open that app, check that site, crunch those numbers. You've got the map. Now start digging. I'm rooting for you, mate. Let's make this happen.